Laura is an executive in our mastermind group, and she works for a big Fortune 500 company. Her company, her big Fortune 500 company, acquired a startup 3 years ago, and they hired her to come in and lead this startup. Now, for the last 3 years, the startup has been able to operate carte blanche this entire time, really keep doing the same thing that they've been doing for the past few years, even before the acquisition happened. But now this big Fortune 500 company is saying, hey, we want to integrate this new startup and their processes and procedures into our processes and procedures and have them start selling our other products. This is a big task and a big hurdle because they don't have any processes and procedures. They were kind of running like the wild, wild west because they're a startup. And so Laura's now come in and trying to get them to follow some procedures, but ultimately it's been very difficult to get buy-in from that because they feel like the corporate man is trying to hold them down and make them do things that are not they're not accustomed to. But as a leader, you got to get buy-in because if you've got one person doing something one way, another person doing it something another way, you've got another person doing something another way, and then all of a sudden you bring on new people to this team and they're like, what standard operating procedure should I follow for what I should be doing when I get onboarded? That becomes a giant nightmare and a giant hassle and becomes unsustainable. So this is where creating some standard operating procedures can make your company more nimble, even though the startup was really high growth to begin with. The point I'm making is processes and procedures need to be implemented once you figured out a solution that works.